Golden, I followed you for years and years and years, and you just started going just wide open. And I think you've been with the Oak Ridge Boys, what, 52 years? Or I know it's in the
Well,
60s.
I joined them in 1965, so next January, I guess, will be about 60 years since I joined them. And
Wow.
but I was away. Yeah, I was away for about 8 years, and was voted out, then voted back in.
Well, always like to start out, and then I'll come to you, Danny. How did you get your start in singing? I mean, let's go way back in your childhood. Did all of a sudden you just thought you can sing, or somebody said that, hey, you sound good, or how did it transpire? You starting out as a knowing you could sing?
What, me?
Yes,
You're talking about? Okay. Well, for me, it started out real young. When I was 6 and 7 years old, my sister, Lynette, she taught me how to play rhythm guitar and to sing harmonies. And she taught me how to play guitar when I had to make an abbreviated G because my fingers weren't long enough to reach a regular G. And anyhow, she also taught me, and that's when I learned the harmony parts. Where your harmony parts are those keys that you're making. You know, you make the harmony and the chords when you're playing. But yeah, she taught me that. She needed a harmony singer and she needed a rhythm guitar player. So her little brother was. I was there listening to the music anyway, and I jumped right in.
Well, that way she can have her own little band there and wouldn't have to pay them, right?
We had a duet, and we sang a lot together. You know, we sing on Granddaddy's radio show about once a week, and we'd sing at every little church house. But my sister played mandolin. She could play guitar and play piano. She still does that. But she taught me how to play and sing, and we sang as a duet old country songs, you know, Louvin Brothers and Roy Acuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hank Williams, I Saw the Light, stuff we could. Kitty Wells had a Mansion Over the Hilltop, which was a gospel type song. And Roy Acuff had Great Speckled Bird. We'd sing these old country songs. They were new at that time, but we'd sing them in church and sing them on Granddaddy's radio show. But we did that until later on our little brother joined us. We had a trio, and then I got in high school, and I sang in the FFA Quartet, which is Future Farmers of America.
Oh, yes.
And each chapter had competition with other chapters with bands and singing groups. And so we would compete with other schools, and we did well. We went to the state finals, and then our lead singer, his family took him off to California for the summer, and we missed the state final. So I don't know if we'd won or lost. Anyhow.
Now
later on, I kept singing, you know, out of school, and then that's where I met the Oak Ridge Boys, singing on shows with them, and then I approached them about being in their Oak Ridge Boys, and made a special trip to Nashville to talk to them about that. And
now you live. I'm sorry, you grew up on the farm, right?
I did. My dad was a big cotton and peanut farmer. And soybeans and wheat, and but mainly cotton and peanuts.
That's in Georgia, correct?
South Alabama.
South Alabama, okay.
We live right on the Alabama-Florida state line. Our farm adjoins the Florida line. We were farming in Alabama and Florida. So my family, I still have the family farm and the old home place, and I still go back to there, and it helps me keep my grounded feet, you know.
Oh, yes. And always nice.
Where I come from.
Always nice to go home, isn't it?
It is. I still sleep in the same bedroom I grew up sleeping in. So,
wow.
different bed, but same room.
Exactly. Just brings back some wonderful memories.
It
Yeah.
does.
Now, Danny, it's okay to call you Danny?
Yeah, of
Oh, okay,
course.
great. Now, you flew a long ways to come over this side of the country. You're from Australia, correct? Or were born and raised there?
Yeah, I'm from down under. I was born in Perth, Australia, the West Coast.
Oh, okay. Because one of my favorite singers lived there, and that's Olivia Newton-John
Oh, of course.
in Australia.
Amazing.
Now,
We love Olivia.
now, how did you start out? I know you started out early age at 7, and let me ask you this: do you still know all your ballerina steps? No.
Oh, I can't dance to save my life. No, I'm glad I found music instead.
Now, you started at 7 years old, correct?
Yeah, I was around 8 when I picked up the guitar. Yeah, and started songwriting and singing.
What was your very first on stage presence that was you just terrified? I know if I was a little kid like that, I mean, I'd mess up everything because I can't sing, but just that audience there or people watching you.
Well, I guess the first audience I had were, you know how you have Christmas family parties, how you have all your cousins and everybody over to watch and all the dogs running around and lots of noise. I guess that family and grandparents were my first audience to sing my original songs to. And then it became primary school, sing it to my friends. And we had like a talent quest, and then moved to smoky bars at open mic nights. And then it moved to TV sets. And then later it went on to bigger stages and festivals and things like that. But I guess it started in the backyard at my family's Christmas get-togethers.
Well, that's great because your family, that's the hardest audience you can play play in front of.
Oh, yeah.
I had brothers and sisters, and they would, make fun of me, do stuff, like that when I do things. But we still, in our family, we get together. All of our whole family, we get together every month. We've been doing it for years to have a big meal together and just discuss whatever things over with anybody's having any issues or laugh
Right,
and just
right.
have a good time.
Yeah, everybody has a good time. We would have it at my Uncle Pete's house, and he would have outdoor concerts and invite different musicians from all around the world, and I would be the opening artist. And there'd be, curry nights, and everybody would be eating. But I remember, some cousins or aunties would be like, "Oh, Danielle, I don't know about that song." Everybody's very honest.
That's one thing you can get from children to adults.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't.
They're a good test to audience.
Yeah, I'm a Presbyterian minister also, and I learned a long time ago you don't ask children stuff in front of the congregation, especially when they're little.
Oh, okay.
They're very honest.
Yeah.
And William D, who was that really inspired you to continue on with your music? Who was one of the artists that you really looked up to that you strive to either be like or that just pushed you to work even harder?
Well, man, I've been inspired by a lot of people and still get inspired by a lot of people. It's I love music and I go to concerts, and I grew up. And when I moved to Nashville, I had an opportunity to see a lot more concerts. Basically, certainly bigger names coming through Nashville than they were down in Bruton, Alabama. So, but there's been a lot of people that, and I'm still inspired by a lot of people, for singers and musicians. And what you love to do is to see and discover new people. It's people that I hadn't known before, but then have friends that introduce you to great music and all. And like Jeff Panzer, he introduced us to Danny Stefanati, and he shared her music with us. And I got to meet Danny through Jeff, and she came to Nashville, and she was we took her with the Oak Ridge Boys to do the Grand Ole Opry and different things that we did here. And on her first trip that I've known Danny, and we were able to do different things together. She did an Oak Ridge Boys video a year ago, an Elvira video, first time we'd ever done an Elvira video. And Danny was in town, and we talked her into coming and being at the big party that we had to do the first Elvira video we'd ever done in all these years, over 40 years of recording the song and performing it. But Danny was there, Kid Rock was there, Big and Reach, Trace Adkins, Lori Morgan, a lot of country music celebrities, and they were there at the big party. Danny was on stage there performing, and so it was a big deal for us, and I was so happy that Danny could join us there. But her talent as a guitarist and singer and songwriter, she's written over 300 songs, and so to get to work with her has been a thrill too.
Well, I watched that video. I loved it. I like where they pulled up and there they are singing karaoke to Elvira, and you're getting off the bus. I'm going to show a little bit of that clip in this interview. I'll push it on out there and show. I got several parts in that clip that I just loved it. It was it looked like everybody had a blast, and I noticed a lot of the songs. Lori Morgan, I love a lot of her music, and Danny, I saw you in there, and I mean it was great. Now y'all did a duet together also.
Sunday.
Pardon?
It was a very fun day, that shoot.
Yeah, it looked like it was. I mean, I just, it just, I mean, Oak Ridge Boys looks so cool getting out. William, I must say, you look the coolest with the glasses on and come out. I mean, really did. And I said, wow. And more, I guess I listened to it about 3 times because it was just so fun. And that's what I guess Elvira. I know how Richard Sturman told me how they got the name Elvira, how the guy started writing it, and I said, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, Danny, who were some of your idols that you looked up to? I know Sheryl Crow's one of them, Stevie Ray, and you got someone there. I was just kind of, John Mellencamp. I've always liked him too.
The Double Trouble album of Stevie Ray Vaughan was definitely is up there with one of my most studied guitarists and artists alongside Jimi Hendrix. I definitely looked up to the Eagles and their DVD Hell Freezes Over. I studied that for many years, as well as Golden Road by Keith Urban was one of my Bibles of country music. I loved Dolly Parton and Shania Twain as a little girl. Particularly Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain.
Yes.
We all loved that video. But and then I got into the rock and rollers, Peter Frampton and Cream, Eric Clapton, and some psychedelic rock. But then, my grandparents were into the older country, from Kenny Rogers to all sorts of the old time. It was like Charlie Rich.
Yeah, Charlie Rich.
Yeah, I really loved his music too. And then I only got into the Oak Ridge Boys when I actually already knew William. And then I started listening to more of their catalog and became a big fan of the Oak Ridge Boys. I wish I had heard of them earlier. I'm just from a small town, which my auntie kept that one to herself. I didn't know about them, but some things you find later in life. So
That's it. And I'll tell you, they've been around since I've been growing up also, and I had a privilege of knowing and hearing the Oak Ridge Boys and got to meet a lot of the different stars from Loretta Lynn, Charlie Daniels, and they just kind of bring you into country because they are country. And
right.
now, William, I read something. You do some doo-wop and pop.
I listened to all of that. It was like the Coasters. They were a favorite. They were
Right.
a group. I mean, they had a bass singer. There was what was it? The code Yakety Yak. Don't talk back.
That's it.
But that's groups were in pop music back then. It would be the Platters, Coasters, and all those groups. But then kind of groups went out of style, and but I've always enjoyed group harmony, like 4-part harmony especially, and so that's kind of what I've been involved with most of my life, and is harmony type singing. I guess that's the first thing I learned to do was sing harmony, and so it's come natural to me. And
well, I know that the doo-wop. I still love that type of music, and I treat my neighbors about once a month or so. I got a big porch. I'll set up everything and blast music over the neighborhood. And my wife says, "Oh man, they're going to throw us out of here." Next thing I know, I was getting phone calls. "Hey, do you have this music, or you have this?" And so I have fun doing that. Now, William, you're going to be within 30 minutes of my home on September 22nd, Newberry.
Great. You coming out?
I'm going to try my best. I just seen it on the channel I look at, and I said, "Hey, wait, he's going to be just right in my neighborhood." And
we've been there several times with the Oak Ridge Boys. It's a beautiful little opera house there. It's an intimate opera house. It's I think seats about 500 people. Beautiful little balcony, and everybody is right close to you.
They are. And they had a lot of good talent there, and people don't realize what a small little town Newberry is that has these mass stars coming there. I went and seen. I think Tanya Tucker. I went and saw her there, and it's great. Danny, I know that you live in a small town, right? Right now.
Yeah. Palm Beach town, yeah.
Palm Springs.
Well, yeah, this is it's a bit bigger out here, but compared to Los Angeles, it feels like a small town.
I imagine it does. Now, Danny, you and William sung a duet together, and it's called "I Got My Heart on You." Is this something?
Right.
Is this something that you wrote, or did William write, or how did y'all come together of doing a duet together?
Well, actually, Jeff Panzer put us together. Jeff had discovered Danny's her talents, I guess, through videos and things. But I met Danny through Jeff Panzer, and I knew her for a while here before Jeff got her to do the music for this song that I wrote for 3 or 4 years ago. I wrote this song, and but I had it in my mind, but I never could get it out, and I was shy about getting another musician to sit and do charts on it. And play the music while I could sing it, and make a demo or whatever of it. But so Jeff kept asking me, and it must have been close to a year that I had all of this in my mind when I wrote it, and it was here at home. I was by myself, and to give you a backstory on the song, but it was a song that I originally wrote because of I had been through a divorce, another divorce actually, about 10 or 11 years ago, maybe. And anyhow, my ex-wife, Solomon's mother, moved him from here. She took him and moved to Austin, which made it almost impossible to get to see him regular, have a relationship with him. And it was just heart-wrenching. And I tried to reach him and call him and things, and wouldn't get no response. So, and I had tried to reach him a couple of times that day and couldn't get any response. And I tried to text him, and then tried to leave a message, and his message was full, and that type thing. And so he was a teenager then. She moved him away when he was about 12 years old. And with him being a teenager and getting to be a little older, I was feeling more like he'd been pulled away. And it was, as a father, it was heart-wrenching to have a closer relationship with my son. And I was feeling like that it was life slipping away too fast. And it was something that I was feeling heartache and anguish over, this situation of the lack of communication that I was able to have with him in his adolescence and teenage years, as a young man, that I felt like that I could be an influence, of at least he know who I am, as an adult. And but I got to thinking about back when he was young, a little boy, and the title of the song that I wrote come from what he said to me, and he would leave this message on my telephone sometimes, and it's the way he would say it, and it's a saying that he would say, and he would call my phone and leave it, and I'd keep those messages. Hey, Dad, this is Solomon. I got my heart on you. And he would leave those messages. I got my heart on you. And that was his thing. And we would sometimes, when I'd be leaving home, then after that, it was his words. Then I would tell him, I've got to go on the roads, and I just want you to know that I got my heart on you. And so it became, those were his words that we would say back to him sometimes. And so I was reflecting back on that and his whole life, and how things had evolved and where I was standing. And I was feeling sad that day, and I just got to remembering it all, and I started writing about it and sing it to myself here, and putting these words together to describe what I'm feeling and remembering all of this and the things we had done together, and to share with him. But I didn't want to identify who I was singing to in the song, because I felt like it. But I wanted it to be something that he could have, more than just be writing him a letter that might get thrown in the trash. But it'd be something maybe he could hold in his hand and listen to it if he ever cared to. But I felt like he would kind of know a little more as he got a little older of my feelings as a father for a son or any child that had been pulled away from you, and but it was a basic inspiration, was his words and my memories and my reflecting on caring and wanting my son to know that I cared for him the same that he cared for me, and in those young, innocent days when I felt love, and I wanted to share that. It was a mutual feeling.
Well, that's great.
So
because he's going
to. I couldn't get it out of me. Don't mean to But Danny then helped me to put all of that into my song, and she helped me repeat two or three of the important lines, and on the chorus and on the bridge. She helped me take what I had and make it into a much better song. She added an up tempo to what I was sent her on a voice thing that Jeff Panzer got me to sing it into my phone as a cappella. Send it to him. He gave it to Danny. She helped put it into music behind it. She did the whole orchestration, or put all the instrument pieces that are on that, the layers of guitar that's on what we did together. Then I got her to help me sing it, and to sing one of the verses with me. So we did a duet of the song that she helped me complete in writing, and to put it into song form and put all the music behind it, that we can do it together.
Well, it sounded beautiful, and it sounded good, and you know, your son's going to always know that song was that's him. And
Yeah.
so you put all the, Danny, you put all the instruments and all the music, and put all that together to get it upbeat, because I know you play a great guitar. I've watched some of your videos, and I said, she tear that thing up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, my home studio here in the desert. I layered like the drum brushes and lots of guitars and pedal steels, lots of vocal harmonies, bass, played the bass and different things. And then Jeffrey and I co-produced and mixed it over the phone. And we showed it to William to see if he was happy with it, any changes or this and that. And then when I took it to Nashville, I came back to the desert, and we remastered it and made some changes because William gave us lots of harmonies to work with as well.
So when you came from Australia over here, your first landing over here to USA, was it too much of a culture shock, or was it just kind of basically like home?
Yeah, America at first, because I'd been out here on holidays before, and I'd been to Nashville on holidays as well, or vacation, sorry. And I always found the portions, like the plate size of food and the size of the cups, really large, you know. That was the first thing I noticed, and that the shops had a lot more choices. You guys have a lot of choices when I just want to get a carton of milk. I mean, I got 50 to choose from, you know. So I did notice that all the stores were bigger, the food, everything was bigger in America. But when I moved to Los Angeles a couple of years ago, I slowly got used to it. And then when I come to Nashville, that always feels like home, because I had so many vacations there when I was 18 and like 19-ish. I have really good memories in Nashville. So that's like almost like feels like home. And then when I'm in the desert or Los Angeles, I still feel like I'm kind of on a vacation.
Now, can you do the country accent? I heard you do one.
Y'all want sweet tea?
And
Is that kind of close?
yes, that's it. We are the sweet tea capital of the world. And I recently realized, I didn't realize this was, a doctor told me, he says, you know why that there's over the United States, that it centers over the South, that they have more of the kidney stones than anything? I says, no, why? He says, the tea. I said, oh, I thought milk and stuff. And he says, no, the tea does it.
Oh, it doesn't dehydrate you. Yeah, the caffeine.
Yeah, I guess there's something in there that kind of rattles you up like that. Now, Danny, you got a award, won an award at the Grand Ole Opry. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I won a female vocalist of the year multi-genre last year at the Josie Awards at the Opry. And this year I've got a few nominations, I think, female guitarist of the year, and William also won last year with the Goldens. And I don't know, I think we both have some nominations this year, so very excited for that. And we were backstage. I was with the Goldens backstage at the last Opry. I got to have backstage tickets with the guys. So that was a really fun experience. And yeah, can't wait to be back one of these days.
Definitely. Now, William, you got your band, or you got was it two or three of your boys and your grandchildren playing in the band with you?
Well, we during the pandemic got them all together, and following a vision I had to get the family together and do some old songs, and we were told we were unessential and to go home and lock your doors and put on 2 masks, and if anybody knocks on your door, crawl under the bed. So, I was watching TV there for 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody hating everybody, and I turned all that crap off and got out of the house, and all these old songs start reflecting to me songs by writers that were essential to me and inspired me to want to sing, and songs that by singers that inspired me that were essential, and thinking about all the people that were essential in my life, and singers and musicians and songwriters. And so I got the family together. We started harmonizing on all these old songs. We wound up recording 34 songs with my family in the pandemic. All of them were songs that had inspired different ones of us, and we would harmonize on the choruses. Then I did an album with the Oak Ridge Boys in the pandemic, and I wrote an autobiography in the pandemic. So I did 5 major projects. It's amazing what all you can get done when you turn off negative hate off of television news.
Exactly. Now, Danny, didn't you have something about Danny Diamonds?
Yes, Danny Diamonds is the album that was created last summer. And we've released 2 of the singles off that one. Very excited about. And the actual digital download before the whole album was released is actually available on my website. So very, very cool project. But I'm sorry to cut you off, guys. I have Scott's organized a 9:30 radio.
Yeah, I got to cut this off.
Oh, okay.
Jerry, thank you very much for your time. And Danny, jump on to your next interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank everyone.
Jerry.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you, Jerry.
God bless. Bye.
Thank you so much.